Although it's still an AFK screen, at least on my end.
It's still, yeah, still, okay. I will, alright. Hey, guess what, guys? Years in the future. But not many.
But it's still an AFK screen. Oh, there it is. Okay, never mind. I forgot that Twitch is delayed. I'm stupid. Continue, carry on, ignore me.
There's an unsealed tunnel. It welcomes hot air into its stagnant depths. Thank you very much, Jacob. You are a great man who is doing great things, such as teaching everybody how to play Dead by Daylight, the premier game where you run around and then
Oh,
die.
I
If
love
you
Dead by
ever wanted
Daylight.
to run around and then die, I would play Dead by Daylight if I were you. Actually, this is a command. I'm ordering you. You there, play Dead by Daylight right now.
And then like
Actually, don't.
well,
Wait, no, don't do
I
that.
took
Stay
like a
here.
couple months breaks from Dead by Daylight, but then Resident Evil, and I was like,
And then everybody leaves
I
because
need
I
that
play
Jill
Dead by Daylight.
Valentine.
I commanded them to. Jill Valentine, right?
Is Bay.
Yeah, like 8 out of 10 for boobies, right? 8
How dare
sideways.
ye? Jill Valentine. I almost said Valentino.
Valentino,
Is
Giulio Valentino,
and Leon Kennedy.
Leon Kennedy. I'm a big fan of Resident Evil. Maybe I'll play it someday.
You
Huh?
absolutely should. I made a mistake
Maybe,
of playing it on
maybe I'll,
normal mode instead of
maybe
easy
I'll,
because I
maybe
forgot
I'll
I'm bad
stream
at
it or
life.
something. Play on easy mode.
Absolutely.
Play on the
Those
easy mode
fucking
so it doesn't
zombies are
fuck up your
sponges.
LP. Also known
They
as.
take like 17 bullets, and I'm like, listen, I
Hey,
know I'm bad at shooting, but
have
come
you
on
ever
now.
fought a zombie? It's not easy. They don't really give up. They're not known for giving up. Alright, are you ready, Rose? You gotta read her walkthrough.
Fuck no, I don't. Hold on, I'm behind. Where are we going here? Oh my god. Oh god. Okay, prepare for the sass. An examination of the basics. Oh, already,
Oh my
already.
god, right?
The tone is set. Okay. Upon connecting with the client user, you, the server user, will be met with a control panel allowing you to manipulate your co-player's environment. You will find that you are allowed to deploy 4 items at no expense. 3 of these are rather large machines, and 1 is a punch card. It's quite possible that you've already deployed some of these items before reading this. If this is the case, and you've activated the machine called the Cruxtruder, such that it displays a countdown, you must proceed to section A100 of this walkthrough immediately. The life of the client user depends on it, and if your co-player has activated this device in your environment too, then yours does as well. But if not, please refrain from doing anything with the Cruxtruder aside from merely deploying it. This will buy some time to think things through properly and to go over the basics of the game before you find your soft, easily punctured head in the jaws of the lion. Ooh. As mentioned, there are 4 items to consider, each playing a role in a process which appears to have a singular purpose, to manufacture objects out of thin air. The designers of the game, judging by the language used, regard this process as a sort of alchemy. This may allude to complexities in the production process yet to present themselves. But for now, the variety of objects you are able to create remains quite limited. I'm already fucking lost, yo. The item in question are the Cruxtruder, again, tread lightly with this one, the totem lathe, the alchemitter, and the pre-punched card. I will describe how these devices work in conjunction with each other, and I will use the analogy of having a key made at a hardware store to help you understand. First, deploy all these objects in convenient proximity to each other. Be sure not to block the doors or pathways with them. You can always revise the dimensions of the room to make space for them, but I'd advise against this, or even experimenting with the function. Doing so comes at the expense of build grist, a commodity which appears to be at a premium cost at the onset, and one you'd be best to advise to save for later. The Cruxtruder. Removing the lid signals the moment your life becomes a great whirling batshit pandemonium, somewhat resembling the chaos of an especially ethnic wedding. Bitch! Are you allowed to say that? Anyways, somewhere, a soused uncle deliberately shatters china on the floor. Muddy livestock is decorated and then lost track of. The question, whose mule is this, at times can be heard over the din. This is now your reality. But aside from that, it marks the beginning of the process I'm about to describe. The countdown begins. Yes. Also, an entity called the Colonel Sprite is released. That's the fucking sassy ass ghost, right?
Yeah,
The Colonel Sprite.
it's
Okay.
the
That
blue
little.
lady.
Yes. Okay. But neither of these things are all that relevant to this process, to my knowledge. More on these things later. What is relevant is the unlidded Crookstruder's ability to dispense Crooksite dowels. It will dispense at least one, though I suspect it is capable of producing more, given parameters I'm not yet familiar with. In my key-making analogy, these dowels represent the uncarved pieces of metal which the hardware store employee retrieves from a drawer or a rack and sets about carving into a key. The two following items are needed to do the carving. The pre-punched card. It is a simple Solidex card containing an item. There's evidence to suggest the specific item it contains is variable from session to session. The card I deployed contained a blue apple. Yours may be different. It shouldn't matter. Hopefully. Additionally, the card, as you may guess, is punched. Like one used with antique computing systems, the pattern of holes compromises data, which I believe corresponds to the instructions for creating the item the card contains. That it is pre-punched suggests there is a way to punch an unpunched card, possibly imprinting it with the data from the item it contains, though no mechanism for this has presented itself yet. But the data on the card cannot be used to create the item directly. There is a middleman. That middleman is the totem lathe. The totem lathe. This is essentially the key carving machine. It will carve into your crook-style dowel a pattern of grooves and contours, the sort which makes a key unique. The instructions for this pattern are supplied by the punch card, which is inserted into the lathe pre-activation to configure its chisels. Once the dowel is carved, you have a totem serving as your key, which can then be used to unlock the card item through the alchemimeter. But at this point, I will diverge from my key-making analogy and switch to a barcode analogy. But you can't just switch analogies like that, goddamn. Which is not a terribly strenuous leap to make, since the concepts of a key and a barcode are essentially the same, one being a unique pattern of grooves, the other of varying black lines. The alchemimeter. If you place a crook-style dowel, carved or uncarved, on the alchemimeter's small pedestal, its robotic arm will scan the contours with the laser, hence the barcode analogy. This is the machine's way of reading the data originally imprinted from the card and transforming that data into a physical object. Though typically this is not done without expense, I believe. An uncarved dowel results in the creation of a perfectly generic object, which is a seemingly useless green cube. It costs 2 units of build grist to make, and I do not advise you waste your resources on it. There appears to be many other varieties of grist, ostensibly used in combinations to create different sorts of items, which possibly offers some insight into the game's use of the term alchemy. But quite conveniently, there's an exception to this. Creating the item on the pre-punched card costs nothing. This is good, because creating this item turns out to be essential. Now that you know this, you can, in your own time, begin the process. Once you initiate it, naturally there's no going back, so best to be prepared. But you probably shouldn't drag your feet too long. As I mentioned earlier, this is your only means of escape. When you're ready, be prepared to follow the steps in the next section swiftly. So your Cruxeter is ticking. Do this to live.
Oh, you drink some
my God,
water
there's so
there.
much chat.
That's some good reading.
Thank you.
Wow, that's a lot of information, huh?
Yeah, you lost. Yeah, she lost me at like the first sentence, but that's fine. Bringo bird.
The other day I said something like this to Dana Verdict. She's in the chat earlier. I don't know what we were talking about. We were talking about alchemy or something. Somehow, oh fuck no. But well, I guess it was kind of like the interesting understanding that chemistry and alchemy have a relationship of chemistry is physical, whereas alchemy is actually about ideas. So like you're like, what do you mean turn it? What do you mean turn the lead to gold? That's not how it works on the periodic table. That makes me mad.
Listen, the other alchemy I know is fucking equivalent exchange from that
Equivalent
one alchemy with the dog daughter.
exchange. Yeah, that's
That's all
actually
I
the.
got on my
You know what?
alchemic knowledge.
It's a great
Oh
anime
God.
for that exact subject though, because it's. If you think about it, they have what is Homestuck doing, right? It's got key cards, right? Key cards, punch
Oh
cards.
my God, are we
It
literally
takes
about to?
it takes the idea of data information
Okay.
in like a in a form and
Mhm.
typically these days and through the oldest
Home
instance
Full Metal Alchemist
we
stuck. I got
we
you.
we take data and we arrange it in something called a matrix, which is we do this because the mathematically you can select out of a matrix values and each of the areas of the matrix have valuation and yada yada. It makes a grid. Blah 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 blah. You have to maths. Blah, 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 blah.
Mhm.
What I'm getting at is that the storage of data is transiently innate within this idea of alchemy, and it's also expressed within computer programming, which Homestuck is about. It's about both of these things, technically. And the third thing of which this form comes about is genetics, of which information is saved, stored in somewhat. This comic tries to marinate and unify these things. Where it comes into Full Metal Alchemist, I meant that if you look at the way they cast the alchemy, it's developed in a series of symbols that are meant to. What I'm assuming is it's abstractly storing information that they're doing. They have to. It's in for what's his name? It's on his arm, and he can with that. It's like a program. It's like he's got a program etched into his hand, and that program is performing an alchemic process, if that makes sense. And well, it seems
Okay,
maybe like it's a computer program. Yeah, there's no computer for it. I'm not implying it's a program in the modern sense within computer application. I'm implying it within a more articulated, older, antiquated sense, in which it means a machinic part performing a scheduled operation of processes. That's what I'm saying. And this is what it has in common, I suppose. And this is kind of weird because I would say actually, okay, it was probably the opposite. Hussey, whatever, probably read or was a fan of Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh,
And
Hussey is definitely a fucking
when you
weeb.
look,
Nobody can convince me otherwise. Not even Hussey themselves can convince me otherwise.
His self-insert character.
Only a non-weeb made this.
Both of his self-insert characters are very weeby. They have Japanese swords and stuff, so that's
absolutely.
And they're self-inserty. Like he's, I bet I could find it within this archive. His talking about like who John really is and who Dave really is to him. Where Dave is like this primary vehicle voice that he uses a lot in his day-to-day life, whereas John maybe is something a little bit unfound in a way. Maybe that relates to their characters, right? You think about Dave as he's a clock piece. He serves a purpose. Yep. John is a breath of air, so he has no. He's formless. Andrew, I said June Egbert earlier. I don't know if anybody understood what I meant, but that's been sort of like there's been this sort of this thing like what if John was a girl? Self-actualizing your identity as another gender is a big part of your life. A lot of times people deny that, and that just reinforces their toxic. Oops. Jumping the gun there. Huh? It reinforces their stereotypes. It reinforces the way that they think about it in the way that it's funny that resistance imbibes that. It reinforces that our desires are not met, so that we whatever. Hey, I'm the psychoanalyst now. Look at me. I'm the psychoanalyst now. I just mean that you could probably see where the inspiration was coming from. That we can store information as data, and this is similar to the alchemical process of spiritual. Kind of like imagine like you're describing a form of something. You have the silhouette of it. That's what I'm saying. Is this is a spiritual object? It's just an abstract image, literally an image, like on a CD. It's an image of what you're looking at. It's not actually the real thing. This process is what is alchemy is commenting on. And to get back to what I said to Verdict, it was this. It was what we're dealing with, right? We've got material chemistry, but we've got alchemy is about the man. It's about the soul. In the way, not man, mankind, people. It's about people, the soul itself, or the form of us could be transcended and turned into something else, is the commentary that alchemy is making and has always made. This might not be the interpretation that you normally get, but when you analyze works like Full Metal Alchemist, this is clearly a very, very obvious theme. What more that Full Metal Alchemist is full of historical representations of things that are happening to us, but that are compressed into an anime world. You literally have a China to the east and a Russia to your north and an ambiguous Eastern Europe to your middle, and you have a more liberated coastal Europe to your west, and you have a desert to your south in the middle, right? He's taken Aristotle's, or sorry, is that? No, the wrong guy. Maybe it is. I actually can't fucking remember now. The guy who, the history guy, Greek guy, loves his hippos.
Narrows it down. Greek
Herodotus.
guy. There was only how many of those fuckers? Just their
Herodotus.
souls.
Herodotus's
I,
map of the Mediterranean was to them a complete map of the world at the time. This is, I don't know, whatever. This is reflected in what. This is a long talk about this. I don't give a shit now.
Chat, my new objective is just to get Chris rambling on. See how many times I can do it before Chris is like, fuck it, whatever. I love it.
Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist, eh? Let me check that sometime. Thank you for your insight. I mean, thanks for listening to me yell.
I love it.
All right,
Favorite pastime?
Rose is looking. Roses. It's terrible. Yeah. I love the effect though. I love the flickering. It's really cool.
The flickering is really nice. Because it's not like it is a full flicker, but it doesn't feel like a full flicker. Like it's not like obnoxiously flickering, you know?
Oh fuck, I've got some GIFs that I've made a long time ago. Why don't I use those for the notifications? That was just a brain blast, like Jimmy Neutron.
Absolutely.
You know, my hair kind of looks like his too.
Did you ever see, like, if you watch like the pilot of, and I only say this because I watched Jimmy Neutron like a few months ago, but like the pilot, oh my god, compared to the rest of the show,
yeah,
it's a fucking spiritual journey. Like oh my god, it's yikes. It's ooh.
I think what I was saying about spoilers and all this is that there is a level of your enjoyment of things that is not consumption. And you can fulfill this in other ways, even by being like, I hate this. You're actually fulfilling consumption's role within its proprietary sense in that you're engaging with media. You're still engaging with something that you dislike, is what I'm fucking saying. And that's where it comes into this, oh, you've ruined this for me. Oh, that's not true because this book isn't alive. Maybe ideas are impactful, like I was saying with alchemy, but it's this funny gap of we are holding media really dearly, and maybe that's saying too much for it at times. Because look at Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah, I just like the nostalgia effect. I have to do that
right?
a lot. I'm like, do I like this or am I just feeling
I think it's interesting,
nostalgic right now?
Do I like this? Do it does. I don't think it even matters. I think it's like, wow, look at this. Look at this. It's preserved. It's like I was saying, I myself am a historian in a way. Like, I look at this preserve, and that's actually meticulously evil in a way. Like, let's preserve it. Yes, let's preserve. Oh, perfect. Yay. Mm-hmm. Let's mummify it. Woo. I don't know. I just mean, like, you. Is Shrek good or bad? I don't care. I can still watch it though. This doesn't affect me whether or not it's good or bad. I can still engage with it, is what I'm saying, and that. This is the crux of all media, is it's just engagement, really. And this, I know that's way too big. I know that's way too big of a joke. I fucking know that, okay? I get that. But if you can see to what I'm trying to say, that who are you to say that Jimmy Neutron is bad? Because all these people worked on it for all this time.
True. You're right. I didn't say it was bad. I said the pilot was a spiritual journey compared to the rest of the show.
I agree, because that show is
person.
like it. You could see the 3D effort evolve, that they fucking care about Jimmy Neutron, so they made it. People made these things. You don't get just go on the internet and tell them to die. That's not the way
where the
anything should work.
Egg aliens like kidnap all the parents. Pretty sure stuff might be VHS of that somewhere.
Or maybe you should do that. I don't know. It's up to you, really, in this life. You can tell anybody you want to die, but I don't think it goes that well. Just see your fucking self, I guess. Like, fuck.
You could tell.
We're all just gonna like what we like. There is no level, I think, of which you have to owe people your conscious enjoyment of something or your disavowal of it. Just because people around you hate something, you don't have to agree. And yada yada. Be yourself. Be yourself. Yeah, be yourself. Wow, fuck
That's
you.
That's actually why I find
be myself.
when animes are like coming out, I try to like not watch them until everyone's kind of forgotten about them, because it almost feels like
Yeah.
like there's a pressure
Yeah.
to like oh my god,
How? I guess
like
it's
especially like if you take like My Hero Academia or something,
this.
where it's like
That's a
if
fucking great
anybody
example.
were to say like,
I had a
oh,
friend.
I don't want to watch it, it's like everyone's like, and you're like, okay, now I'm feeling really pressured right
I had
now.
a,
Like I'm feeling really peer pressured. Like
I had a friend
I'm
like
not
that. So
enjoying the
it's
energy we've
relevant in the
created
way
in
of
the
like,
studio right now. Like,
yeah, right. You just it's like we said
yeah,
before.
like
Like,
I'm like,
why would this
I'll
divide
watch
your
it when I
friendship?
watch
You
it.
know, if you get spoiled or something. Like, why does this divide your friendship? Like, fuck it, just move on. Oh no, but okay. I was thinking this when I was in the
Oh,
pisser.
that's like me with the Tommy Wiseau's The Room, the fucking work of art that
That's see,
people
good or
just
bad, doesn't matter.
fucking
It's made.
work of art. Doesn't matter. I force everyone to watch it with me anyways.
It doesn't matter because it's real and it's a thing you can watch. So it doesn't. You don't.
Exactly.
You having an opinion is your opinion. Awesome. That's your opinion. You're still. Here's the movie. Still, it's still right here. I'm looking at you. Cars 2.
Yeah.
Cars 2 is still coming at you over the horizon with
God, I
its
gotta watch Cars.
with his headlights on you.
It's been so long.
You know, it's the middle of the night. It's pitch
I'm
black.
really
It's
enjoying
like
this
Rose.
conversation, this
It's like
discussion that
this.
we're having with
It's
Rose
raining.
looking like that in the background.
It's
I'm sorry. No,
it's
go back.
it's pissing. It's terrible outside. You cars. You Cars
Yeah.
2 wasn't on your mind, but you suddenly hear ka-chow. You know,
He's so
and
cow.
this thing you look in the distance, you look behind your shoulder, and at your mouth agape. There's headlights on you in the darkness, and it pulls up closer and closer to you. It peers and pulls closer to you, and it's the Cars 2 DVD. It's just hovering in place, and it says ka-chow again, and
Absolutely.
it revs its engine in front of you.
Oh god.
It's a DVD copy of Cars 2, and it opens up. It opens up inside, and there's no disc. There's no disc inside. But then you look and you see there's a pain in your abdomen. There's a slice on your abdomen. It's a CD slot, and then it comes out. Cars 2 on DVD ejects itself right from your abdomen, covered in bloody clumps. As you grip your abdomen and you fall to the ground, and it revs its engine louder, and it says ka-chow. That's the last thing you hear.
Actual cannibal Shiloh. Work of art.
What the hell was I talking about?
Oh, dude, I don't want to think about that statement ever again.
What I was saying was, like when you go to the theater and shit, this is like an old tradition. You get a pamphlet, and it fucking has the script in it. You can go read ahead if you want and spoil the whole thing for yourself if you're so inclined. This has been the
Fuck.
norm in media for literally centuries, and it takes whiny people throughout the modern contemporary time period of 30 years and the internet for people to be like, oh, I need this to be this way. Whatever. I'm an insane person. Why should you listen to me? Rose, check the status of the battery.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, well, if we're looking at that, not great. Not a whole lot of battery. Your laptop battery is all right. Bitch, you called that all right? My battery gets like under half, and I'm like, oh boy, if I don't find my charger immediately, I'm going to burst into flames. It won't be for long. If the power in the house doesn't come back on, you can think of one last resort. The small backup generator stored behind the mausoleum. Let's go to the mausoleum. Prototype sprite with Betty Crocker box. What?
Whoa. What? Oh man. You're going to use that? That sucks. What a stupid idea.
We have to hurry along. I'm running low on battery power.
The cake mix. Oh, that's so dumb.
I doubt it matters. We might as well just use any old crap lying around.
Fine, I guess.
Chris, we're being offered a third voice. I say yes.
Even after the third voice.
Because this is homie stuff.
I do a meanest.
So
I do a mean sweet bro. Oh, I gotta read this. I'm so sorry that I've been just yelling.
That's okay.
Oh my god.
That's what we're
is
all
it?
here to see.
Are people talking to me?
Yes, people want to get in on this. Yes, Chris, welcome to streaming. People
Oh my!
talk to you. I know it's a weird feeling. I know it's weird.
Someone,
It
someone
makes
just
you
said
like.
fetish porn, and
I know.
I'm.
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
guys.
Well, your chat's a little more
Welcome
special.
to welcome to this chat log.
Okay, dude, I think you're in. I got you.
That would be a fun stream.
I got you, squad. Yo, why is this Ghost Raven again?
Weird fetish porn. You can never escape weird fetish porn. It's always shitting over the horizon. That's a good quote. I hope somebody clips that. This sounds like the beginning of a D&D campaign.
It did.
Really confusing D&D campaign. It reminds me of actual. There's no disc, only a scalpel. Cars 2 was inside you all along. Going back later minutes, you don't want a third voice. I mean, I can do sweet. I mean, sweet bro. Hi, Chris. Yeah, that's my name. You can find Christo Chimney Sweep that has my name in it. And
like, dude's trying so hard to be noticed by Senpai, and Senpai is kind of noticing, but like,
I'm sorry. I'm just a confused elderly man yelling at things
dude
and
is
Homestuck on
trying
the
to get
internet,
in
and
on this Homestuck
we would have to
squad
negotiate
reading.
this later because
There you go, dude.
I
You got
can't
your answer.
just change the plans like that.
Play
You
this.
know? Oh yeah, right.
We got a plan.
That's exactly who I am, right? Yeah, right. I have a 6-shooter. It's full of 9 bullets. I spin it around. I fire it in the air, and I say, "No, no, no! I have a calendar to stick to."
Oh, I'm glad one of us does.
The
I'm just
sprite is
shifting
playing
around.
hard to get, just like me. You guess that's what you get for originally prototyping it with something that engenders mischief and pranksterism.
Oh, that's true.
Do the potted vegetable instead. It looks delicious. Pipe down, you. This is Rose's decision, not
That's a
yours.
good point, too.
Rose,
Yeah,
prototype
fuck
sprite,
you. My
Sassica
decision.
text.
Fucking
Do it.
stay in the goddamn lane.
Oh, yeah, sweet. Now we're talking. See if you can.
See if
Oh,
you
yeah,
can
sorry.
distract me. This is my one moment. Thank you. See if you can distract it. I'll try to sneak up on it. Fucking ask me here to voice, and then voices on my voice.
I'm sorry.
You're forgiven for now. Dun, dun, dun.
John, flail about in a distracting manner. The sprite finds the distracting manner in which you flail about to be rather distracting. Oh, I love how much
I
it's
feel like John
fucking
could be doing more.
capitalized.
It's like I feel like there could be more flailing.
Whoa,
going
whoa,
on.
whoa, 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 look at me, I'm distracted. Whoa, that's what he's doing. The pesky sprite eludes you again. Not even the great Colonel himself can outfox it. And narrowly missing with your attempt to create the Colonel sprite, you drop the massive tome. The entire house rattles under the astonishing girth of the book. Yeah, how do
That's
they
a
can't pick up the
gross
clown?
word. That's such a. I hate that word.
Girth.
Girth. It's
I
a
love that word.
terrible word.
Girth.
No. No.
Yeah, it's got a lot of
There are
girth.
other adjectives we could use instead of girth.
Well, this got hefty girth there.
Oh, stop.
In the other room, Nana's ashes dump onto the sprite, which is caught unawares by the dowsing.
Oh, no.
Inspect Hag Ash incident.
Me?
You find the sacred urn topple again. This time, you're quite sure it wasn't your fault. The sprite is nowhere to be found. Remove crux shooter from doorway. Oh man, where'd it go?
Can't find it anywhere in the house. No time to worry about it. The next thing we should do is get your server copy of the game from the car. Need to connect to my client so I can repeat your steps and presumably join you, wherever you are. We should do this quickly, before my house burns down.
What? There's a fire?
There will be soon.
Oh jeez. So move this thing already.
It looks like it requires a lot of grist to move. I don't have enough to relocate the door either.
How much do you have?
0.
Oh. Hmm. I thought about jumping to the car from the ledge earlier, but that sounds really dangerous.
I have a better idea. Meet me upstairs.
Do again, as the purple words say.
You.
You were about to head upstairs, but you thought you heard something behind you. It was faint, but you could swear it was a small, light-hearted chuckle, along the lines of a spirited, hoo hoo hoo.
Oh.
Ignore this woman's antics. You're not
I love
sure
that
you even
stance.
saw a woman, let alone any of her hypothetical antics, but whatever it was you might have caught a glimpse of, it sure gave you the willies. You head upstairs on your way to the balcony. Your PDA is acting up again. Indulge the device, but be curt with it. Hey bro, check it out, I'm working on some new rhymes. Dude, I don't have time for your nerdy raps. Come on, this is hells of ill, just listen. It sounds like you don't even believe me that I was about to get blown up. But I really was. But now I'm in some weird dimension that Spirit sent me to or something. And now on top of that, I think I'm being haunted by my dead grandma. Huh? For real? Yeah, it's true, but I'll talk to you later about it. I think I could drop some sick rhymes about all this. Man, see, I just don't think all the rapping stuff is really as cool as you think it is. No, this'll be dope. Check it. No, I have to go. Bye. Ahem.
Wow, that's rude.
Ahem. Ahem. Wait. Armageddon's getting waged on us, but I'm getting armed and dangerous, setting men in space for saving us, seeing which plays more courageous. Ben or Bruce, dudes rage a truce, but their blow shoots to using up, suck it. Affleck sacrifice, sacrifice would have to suffice. Fluck it. Bro, be a stained glass saint up on a cross getting hella Christ plagiarist. Bruce is like, off that crucifix, enough of this fucking savior fuss. Restrained his ass per McLean Redux while Buscemi remained derangerous. When a plan gone astray pays off a wasted craterist, ashtray catering to the layers of Matt McConaughey's vague remainder dust. Wait, McConaughey wasn't even in any of those Meteor movies, was he? I'll have to make a rap about, I don't know, Morgan Freeman or something being president. It'll be called Obama made it so that no one gives a shit about black presidents in movies anymore. See, you've got to fill me in on what's going on, so I have something to rap about besides all your dumb shit movies. Enough strange poetry from the red text.